Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I just wanted to get on here quickly to just give a word, right? And a little bit of why joy in the journey. The wind is not playing with me, playing nice with me. Okay. Um, why joy in the journey? So, and I just think it's funny how everything lines up because today, well, even last night, I said to my daughter, I was like, I don't think I'm going to go to church tomorrow, right? I was tired. That's what I said. I'm tired. I don't think I'm going to go to church tomorrow. Because, life is busy, and every day, Monday through Friday, for me, I get up every day to go to work. Yesterday, I had my sorority chapter meeting, and I just felt like I want one day to myself. Like, one day can I just sleep in? And I had to check myself because on the flip side, this is one day, one period of time that I'm giving to God. I mean, again, people do it virtually, people do it in many ways, but for me, I like going to church. I think it's important to go to church and to fellowship with believers and people like yourself, and to get a word. Now, I'm new to this church. I don't have any church friends. I kind of missed that. There was a period in my life that was heavily involved in a church. Everyone knew my name, Sister Allison this, sister, can you do this? Can you do that? And I missed that a little bit. But this morning, thankfully they have several services. They even have a Saturday evening service, which one of these days I'm going to try. But they have a 9 a.m. service, which is what I typically go to. But today, since I was a little tired, I don't think I even looked at my clock until 9. But I just felt the pull, like, get up and get your butt to church. So I say all of that to say that it's funny how things line up, because I'm telling you, the moment I walked into that church, it's like it was just what I needed to hear. And it aligned with what I wanted to talk about today. So today I was going to tell you why joy in the journey. And joy in the journey to me, or what my intention for it is, to take the hard parts of my life and share them with you, but also kind of show how I've gotten to the other side. But in some ways, it's just that. It's a journey, because some days I don't feel like I've made it to the other side. But here's my point. For those of you that know me, right? And right now in this space, most of you know me. I've shared it with my friends. I don't know that anybody that doesn't know me is watching this. But I don't know how you see me. I don't know what my life from the outside looking in looks like. But I've had challenges. Everybody's had challenges, right? And from even going back to college, right? Once you're out of college, I'm out of college for 35 years. How am I forgetting 10 years? 35 years I'm out of college, right? So nobody remembers. I go to homecoming, nobody remembers. But I didn't originally finish with my class. I flamed out, and I left after junior year, and I went home to New York for a year. But I made my way back, and that's a long story, but that is something that I will share. But that hurt and shame of failure, even though I went back and finished, and for a long time, like in those few years right after I finished, I always talked about it in an interview, when they ask you some questions about persistence or determination, that's what I used, because it took a lot for me to pick myself up off the floor, get myself together, and go back and finish. And that first semester that I was back, I was on the dean's list for the first time in all my years in college. And I was proud of that. And so that was a hardship. I had my daughter shortly after college. I had her technically out of wedlock. Not technically, I had her out of wedlock. That was hard. I married. I'm now divorced. That's hard. I went back to school and to become a teacher because it was something that I really wanted. And that's just part of the success story, because after struggling in undergrad, I went back to grad school and I knocked it out of the park. And that's part of the joy. That's the joy in the journey, when you hit those rough spots and just keep on keeping on. That's always my lesson. That's my advice to anybody. Like, it looks hard now, it feels horrible now, but just keep going, right? And so how I'm going to tie it into church today is, now I was late. I was late. So they were already in praise and worship, and one of the ministers, a younger guy, I think he might even be the youth minister, he had a member, a young guy, 17, up there with him. And again, so I missed a little bit of the context, but he was asking him about his faith and, like, how do you know that God is with you? And the guy said, I don't know, I just have peace in things. Like, I just, sometimes it's like, I just know. But then, like, he shared, I forgot what the question was, but he asked him, like, what's your hard part? What happens? Oh, what is, like, your struggle? When is a point when you feel like you might not believe, or not that, but like, what's the struggle? And this young man, 17 years old, said that his brother killed himself 2 years ago, suicide. And so sometimes he says, like, why? He said, but he just came back and said, but I know that God is God. Like, I know that, I guess it had its purpose. And I'm messing up the words already. I should have taken notes. But it just touched my heart, because I was thinking that's what I wanted to say to you all today. The why joy in the journey. One, for those that are in my age group, I just want to partner and share with you, because I know that you all, have your own stories, but I worry about the generations behind us. I feel like they don't have the grit that we have. I feel like, and again, it's not about Christianity necessarily and believing in God. I for whoever it is, I just feel like they're quitting. They're killing themselves. They're leaning to drugs. They're there. They're just, and so my ultimate wish and intention and prayer for this, and again, I don't know if it'll get to the younger generations, but is this message of just don't give up, don't quit. It's hard right now, whatever it is, finances, the girl or boy not liking you, school not going well, not liking yourself, being overweight, underweight, not understanding your parents or having your parents understand you. Like, whatever it is, just give it more time and don't quit. And that's what joy in the journey is for me. That's what's been put on my heart, is again, to share my story and hopefully help people to realize, one, again, that you're not alone. That's another big message too. You're not alone. I remember my darkest days. I have a lot of friends, but I felt alone. And so you are not alone, and don't quit, and hang with me a little bit, and we'll get through this together. All right. Have a great day, everyone.